Special thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing access to the Sims 4 Adventure Awaits expansion pack. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great week. Today we're back in Gibbi Point building on a 50 by 50 lot, and today we're building a romantic getaway for your Sims, and it's going to be called Shimmering Sands, which as the video progresses you'll see becomes more beachy and coastal, and the idea was to have a main building, which is what we're working on now, and then have 4 separate private little suites that just have like a bedroom and a bathroom. And yeah, it's places where your Sims can go and kind of get away from their everyday lives, you know, especially if they have like a bunch of kids or something running around the house. But yeah, if you are interested in picking up Adventure Awaits and you like what you see with this particular speed build or just the video in general and just the content of the pack, feel free to use my creator code at checkout if you are picking that pack up. I do appreciate it very much. It's not a discount code. It just provides a small commission and it goes to support me as a creator. So thank you so much if you do in advance, but no pressure if you don't. So yeah, quickly it kind of took shape here. I am just kind of doing all the roofing now. And I did add little glass bits to the private suites. And that's like a skylight to the bathrooms, which are oddly on the front of each building, but that's okay. They're still relatively private, except for the ones that maybe border the water, but it's okay. I mean, there's a tub in front of them. The main building, the glass portion that you see me just build, that is actually going to be the dining space, because the main building has a like exercise space, and then like a full kitchen that your Sims can make meals at, or of course if you set up the getaway properly, you can have a chef here. And then on the second floor, there are public toilets and showers, as well as a bicycle class for the spinning classes, as well as 2 separate bikes and weights for weightlifting. So it's like a small little gym. Not that you'd really want to be doing that on a romantic getaway, but yeah, so just figuring out the layouts of the private little spaces. I did flip the 2 back ones because they were facing into the back of the other ones. So I kind of flipped them on the side. So that's what I just did there, because I feel like it just looks better having them facing different ways, which is also nice. And then we have these, I was going to say balconies. They're not balconies. Docks that extend out over the water, and that will be for the water activities such as the kayaking boats. And of course your Sims can also walk out on it and take nice photos and things like that. So, and there's 2 of them because there's just so much waterfront on this lot that I thought it would be nice to have 2, because I kind of imagined it being a pretty crowded place, even though there's like 4 suites. Like that's technically 8 Sims plus any staff and then any randoms that kind of walk by the lot or decide to pick up a kayak or something. So plenty of space for everyone on this particular lot. Now we are starting in with the wallpaper, and this is where it starts to get a bit coastal. I opted for this new wooden siding wallpaper that came with the expansion, but in a light wood tone. And then I'm also using the new stone that came with the expansion, as well as the roof on the private suites and the main building too, and also on the docks as well. And then the glass walls here have a archway that is fully open pretty much all the time that your Sims can pass through. And then of course there's sliding doors. I was going to include a playground. Yeah, I did put a playground together real quickly, which you'll see me do here. But then I stopped working on the build for a couple days, and then I came back to it, and you know, I had a thought about it, and it's like, yeah, a playground does not make sense on a romantic getaway because you're not bringing the kids here. They're like, there's no way, we're not doing that. So we took that out, and this will become a fire pit place and an area for the hot tub. I think that's a much better choice than a playground. We will put a playground together at some point in a future build, probably in the next build, because I'm going to do like a proper family camp. Because I did the regular like house adventure getaway on my previous speed build, which of course, if you haven't seen that, feel free to check that out. It's already on the channel, and of course in the Sims 4 gallery, but this one is more focused on, Sims looking for a romantic getaway. So the next one will be family oriented, and this will probably be the last build. Well, the next build would be the last build that I do with just the base game and the expansion. So yeah, speaking of this particular build, it is just base game and the Adventure Awaits expansion pack. So very accessible to everybody, no other packs, kits, or anything. And then, like I said, we'll have one more build with just those two things, basically, which base game obviously is given, but just the Adventure Awaits expansion pack. And then we'll start mixing in other packs and content, and maybe building in some different worlds, or at least different portions of Gibbi Point. But I really do like the waterfront lots. Though the only thing that bothers me is the limitation of having a pool on a waterfront lot. Though I do believe there is a workaround by building on like an upper level. Like if you had a full floor and then you put on an upper level, it might let you do that. But I did want to have a pool on this particular build as well, but it just wasn't working. But then I thought the waterfront and having the beach and everything and Sims being able to swim in the water and stuff is way better than a pool. So it'll work out. But I think the family oriented, like adventure getaway lot will do a pool and a playground. So all good stuff there. And of course, if you do want to grab this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here's the gallery listing. And yeah, my EA ID is just TheSimified, so you can find it out there, as well as my other Adventure Awaits creations. And yeah, I built this on the 50 by 50 lot, which is where I believe Camp Gibbi was. So yeah, and there's 4 private rooms, and it's 93,560 simoleons. Not that that really matters a whole lot, because when you are planning a getaway, you don't pay that price. You pay like a rate, I guess, of how many days you want to stay. There's like a value for, a per night rate, and you can choose that. I did play around with setting up a custom venue, and there is like a schedule on this lot, which I don't know if that stays with the gallery version, but at least in my game, I did an actual like romantic getaway, and then I had Sims come, and I had a chef and a host. And the host kind of did like cleaning and stuff like that, and then the chef obviously did cooking. But yeah, you might want to play around with that and figure that out. It was a little confusing at first because there's just so many options. It's actually very intuitive, and it was the first time that I was actually using that tool and kind of checking out the custom venue tool. So yeah, lots of stuff going on there. But it's very customizable, which is actually pretty insane. Like the options are crazy. There's just so many things and so many assignments you can do for different people and roles. You can have multiple things assigned to like different people, and it's just, the customization is just actually a little mind-blowing that they would give you so many choices. But it's also interesting that they do give you choices for pretty much every activity possible. Like there's eating and sleeping and enjoying the outdoors, and they can pretty much do whatever. Like they could swim or kayak or jog, but I mean, I guess the choice is theirs. It just has to be outdoors. But like, it's just amazing that we have that. So I think that would become very useful in a lot of different builds and future builds, like hotels and obviously bed and breakfasts, and just even romantic getaways like this, camping, obviously, which is one of the main points of Adventure Awaits, it seems. But I feel like the Sims team doesn't really market that customization. Like they only kind of show a couple of things, but they don't really show, like, I guess, more than just camping or getaways and stuff. Like the tool is actually very powerful. So it's a very useful thing to have the custom venue lot and have all of that creation with your custom venue schedule. Like it's just, yeah, I feel like they should kind of show more of that maybe, but probably not. In some other Sims news though, there was a new kit that dropped, which is a cast kit, which is autumn apparel. That's actually already out. That came out October 9th, so this past Thursday. And that's already available. I will be doing a giveaway probably over on Instagram for it. So if you aren't following me over there, I do have my Instagram link in the video description below. So feel free to give me a follow, and there should be a posting going up actually probably alongside this video, if not already before. And we'll just run that for Probably a week or so. I'm not sure. I mean, it's only a kit, so yeah, maybe a week. I think a week would probably be fine. And it's just a cast kit, so it's just clothing. But yeah, so we'll do that. So make sure to go enter that. And yeah, putting the kitchen together now. The kitchen is on the first floor of the main building. I went all white in here. I did put the outdoor trash can in here because I just didn't want it on the outside of the lot anywhere. So it kind of hides it a bit. And then we just have a regular trash can. We have the griddle, which I felt looked more griddle stove top rather, which I felt looked more commercial. And then we just have a fridge and all of the appliances. So we have the new blender, we have the new kettle, there's a microwave in there, we have a dishwasher, a sink, and now I'm just flipping back and forth, adding in some clutter in different areas and flipping between the rooms. But all of the private rooms look the same. They have the exact same furniture, layout, style, objects in them throughout. The only thing that is different is the main building, which still keeps that cohesive styling to match the private rooms, but obviously, the private rooms are more for sleeping, and this is more of a communal space and a communal area. So yeah, this is the public bathroom area, or basically the gym bathrooms going together now. So I did 2 showers and then 2 toilets and made stalls using walls. And then I labeled which ones were the toilets and then which ones were showers. And then we just have 3 sinks and 3 mirrors and a couple of chairs, but that's about it. Doesn't need anything more than that. It's just supposed to be a quick little place if your sim gets sweaty from, doing a cycling class or anything like that. So it's pretty nice to have that right there next to it, which I thought made actually pretty good sense to have it up here instead of like on the first floor. That way your Sims don't have to walk too far. But I guess if you were on the first floor, you would have to go upstairs. But I guess that is a bummer because there is nothing on the first floor. But there wasn't any room, really. I mean, 50 by 50 lot is pretty large, but considering I had the 4 private rooms and everything, I mean, I probably could have fit a small bathroom down here somewhere. But I just didn't want to. I didn't want to detract from that whole thing. It was supposed to be different. I do have to say, though, having the all glass dining room is actually really nice. Like once I finished the landscaping, and you might see it in the screenshots a little bit, but like the vegetation and the plants kind of all just, they're outside the windows. So you feel like you're standing in nature, which is like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Like it's exactly like what you want. You just feel very secluded and private, and it's a nice little retreat, and a nice little getaway. So yeah. Very nice little beachy getaway. Also, each private room has their own little wood stove for fireplaces. And of course, I did put fire alarms in them just in case. I don't think it's needed, but just safety first, I guess. So, your Sims aren't burning down their, private little room. So I wasn't sure if that would actually apply on this particular lot type, but I was like, rather be safe than sorry. We also have outside here, we're putting a bar in. I just had to find the exact location I wanted, and I thought this stone wall was perfect. I was going to do it against the wood wall on the opposite side, but I was like, no, we're not going to do that. And I do just end up putting up some potted flowers and a couple of chairs up where the cycling class is, or the spinning class, up on the upper floor there. And yeah, we have those heat lamps as well on the outdoor I guess porch not pergola, but porch thing. I was looking at this gazebo thinking it's a pergola. I did actually grab a pergola at first, so that's why I was like, yeah. But I did put this gazebo in, which is from the debug catalog. It actually comes with its own floor, but I did not put the floor in. That way there were no issues with Sims actually using the picnic table. So that's a huge plus. And now we are putting up some landscaping around the hot tub to kind of make it feel a bit more private and secluded. And then we're picking out trees and different landscaping. I was trying to decide on fencing and just the general, like, what do I want to have around? So we did a mixture of these trees and the other kind of like palm ferns kind of thing. Like that smaller tree that you see near the hot tub, and that kind of surrounds the lot already. So I thought that's perfect. It keeps the theme being a beachy kind of getaway, and being close to the water, the nice blue water. This particular water is actually brighter than the other part of the world. Like it's more of a turquoisey blue, which is really nice. It looks so nice, especially once I did the landscaping with some beachy sand around it. It just is so nice looking. And of course, again, Sims can swim in it. They can kayak. And they do use it. I don't know if they sunbathe, but I'm sure if you put down like a sunbathing like mat or something, they probably would. Yeah. I didn't see any of that. Most Sims decided to either swim or kayak, use the hot tub, and of course there's also the fire pits too. We also have the butterfly catching thing, house. I don't know what you'd want to call it, but there is the butterfly thing off to the one side of the lot. Just as something else to do and kind of admire while you're here. Yeah, I do like these purple plants. They're very interesting. They look like something we've seen with Island Living or what's the other one? Jungle Adventure. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the vegetation is kind of similar to those particular worlds. But I also do love these new grasses. I mean, we have grasses like that before, but I like that there's like different color variations. And I really like the darker green color, which was used nearby the lot, kind of off the lot. So I thought it's important to kind of include it to make it feel all blended in and like this lot belongs here, and it actually really does look like it when it's all complete. So yeah, here is the completed Shimmering Sands. Again, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. My EA ID is just TheSimified. I love having the all glass dining room there. It's nice to be able to just see in, but also when like your Sims are eating or whatever, they can just see out into the lush landscape. Of course, the hot tub is there. It is a little secluded. Obviously, you're going to see it because you play, but like it's a really nice romantic spot too. You can get some really great screenshots, especially with like the water behind and Sims doing activities behind you. It's just really nice how I set that up. And then this is like the main entrance lobby area. I kind of imagined it being like a check-in desk kind of thing, but obviously nobody works there. There's no computer or anything there because I didn't want Sims distracted by a computer. This is the archway out to the like deck porch area, and then we have a small little seating area with a fireplace, and then that kind of leads out to where the hot tub is. And then this is the bar where your Sims can grab a drink if they want to, and then of course the hot tub. And yeah, you can see what I mean with like the nice blue water behind. This is the fitness area upstairs. We do have 2 separate bikes and the weights that are separate from the actual spinning class. So if your Sims didn't want to do the class and they just wanted to ride by themselves, they could. But of course there is the option for the class. If you did want to do that, you would need to bring an instructor or hire that as like a role for somebody to teach that. But it is there and it is an option. And then this is one of the private little rooms. I didn't do screenshots of all of them because they all look identical. So there was like no point in doing that, but this is just showing off one of them. And of course we have the tub in front of the window. Maybe not the most private view, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. And then this is where the other side where the butterfly is, and then of course we have 2 fire pits, and of course the 2 docks that your Sims can actually use and access and enjoy with all the water activities, which Sims will do that. And at one point all of the kayaks were out while I was playtesting, so very cool stuff. But that's all I had for this speed build. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another build.